Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're all having a lovely afternoon. We've got gorgeous weather here. It has been very rainy, but today it's just lovely. So looking forward this week, I'm hoping the weather stays really nice for the weekend because we've got a wedding. My son's getting married at the weekend, so we're going to be very busy with that. I can't actually see comments at the moment. I don't know why I haven't got a link up for you, but I'll look at them all when we're finished. So as I said, as you probably know, we're gonna look at today is some do-it-yourself wedding favours. So little wedding favours. When I got married 32 years ago, wedding favours were just becoming the thing, and we had just the traditional little bags of sugared almonds. But now wedding favours are quite the industry. But not everybody can afford, and they can be quite expensive. So these are some little ideas of what you can do and how you can package your little wedding favours, just so that you can do it a little bit, make it more personal and do it a little bit on the cheaper side. So what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you several means packaging. I'm going to show you 3 types of boxes. This is the first one. This is quite a large one. This is a pillow box, but it's so called because it's shaped like a pillow. You might recognise this as the double-sided card that I used. I always fold these in the wrong way. So inside you can see it's quite a big one. I would use that, and it's got a little finger hole there where you can tuck it in, and then you just fold it back over. I would use this for maybe, like, I've used them in the past for handmade soaps. So I've made heart-shaped soaps. I did it for Mother's Day, I think, and packaged them in these nice little pillow boxes. You can make smaller versions, but that's the one that comes from the template that I sent in to you. Now this one again is quite a big one. This is a square box with little hearts on, and again I've used the double-sided paper, so card I mean. So inside it's got a different pattern, and that just folds, so all the little hearts fold together. One of the other things I'm going to be showing you is using these little jars for something to put things in. These are like the little jam jars you get in hotels. Now that is an ideal size for one of those. The third box, which is my favourite, is sort of, I don't know what shape you'd call it, but it's nice. That would be just perfect for 3 or 4 little chocolates, or a piece of shortbread, or little biscuits. Anything edible, but that's a really nice one for edibles. Now, another thing that's becoming very fashionable for people who are more eco-friendly for their wedding favours is little envelopes with flower seeds. Flower seeds are very popular, wildflowers, teas. What else would you? So you're getting little envelopes like this, which is a wedge packet envelope, I would call it. I don't really know what you call it now. I just bought them at the stationery shop. So they're ideal for putting a message on the front or the back, or both. And then you're filling them with wildflower seeds, with herbal teas, with coffee blends. There are all sorts of things that are just, little things. But you need to be able to decorate them. I'm going to show you a couple of methods, depending on whether or not you're good at drawing. I'm just going to turn the camera down, and we'll have a look at these little envelope favours, more eco-friendly ones. Okay. So as I said, it's a little manila brown paper envelope, simply gummed, and you can draw on it or write on it. So I was saying about the wildflower seeds. So I have made, because I'm not very good at drawing, I've printed out these little labels that more or less match the brown paper envelope. That one says "Let Love Bloom," and that's going to be for the flower seeds. The 2 blends of flower seeds I've got here, one is butterfly friendly and one is bee friendly. So I'm just going to trim that label a little bit. Now I use a little app on my phone called Canva, which is really good for graphics, because I'm not particularly good at drawing. But that, as you can see, is quite a nice label. It's got the flower wreath, and I've used different fonts for the phrase "Let Love Bloom," and then at the bottom here, it's got that's actually my son and his girlfriend Jack and Emma, and the date that they're going to get married. So it's a very simple thing to do, is to create something like that. But as I say, if you know somebody who is a lovely writer or you are good at drawing, I am going to draw one. Just struggling with the label here. Trouble with this brown paper comes on one big sheet, so but it is printer proof. You can run it through your printer, and so that is very simple. You there. Sorry about that. Welcome back. So as I was saying, the little envelopes look really nice with these brown paper sticky labels. Now the brown paper comes in a printer size sheet like this. You can see it's got backing on it, so you just run it through your printer. I set these out so that they printed it in lines along it like that, and then you just peel the backing off. The brand I've used is this one, Evergreen. So if you want, that says white on it, I know, but I've got white and brown. So that is one way to do your little flower seeds. Now, this is my butterfly mix of flower seeds. So what I'm going to do is just put that inside the envelope. I'm not going to empty it, just because I think you might end up with seeds all over the place. Now, the idea being that when your guests go home, they plant these in their garden or into a planter and have a little memento of your wedding. So that is the first of the flower seed ones. So I'm going to have a go. I did print this as well. This one says meant to be, and it's got a little bee on. But I'm going to have a go at drawing that, because I'm not a brilliant artist, but I'm going to have a go. So this is my brush marker. It's black. It's got a broader end for wide strokes. So I will use that for my lettering, and it's got a narrow end for drawing. So I'll use that for drawing my bee. So I'm just going to copy what I've got on there. So a bee is an oval body and a little head. And then it's got its two antennae. I told you I wasn't very good at drawing. And the wings are like this. Sort of two bee shapes. See what I did there? And then I think I've made the body a bit big. I'm going to do the stripes across the bee with the broader end of my the brush end of the thing. Then we're going to do a little trail of dots where the bee's been flying. So if you've got a wedding coming up and you fancy having a go at these, it's a lovely idea. And then across the phrase on this one is meant to be, and you're spelling it B. B-E-E. And then I'm going to use my brush end again to try and write the two names on it. Because if you hold it at a slight angle but the point down, you can get a sort of calligraphy effect. Now, it's how to do my ampersand. There we go. admittedly not as nice as the the label, but you can see why I printed labels off as well. But I'm still quite pleased with that. And that's my other seed mix, is my bee seed mix. So I'm just going to add that and that into the envelope. So there we go. So that you two, they're nice, eco-friendly little gifts to give. So they can be planted in your garden and attract bees. Now I said before about teas, and my lot particularly quite like a herbal tea. So I've put together a little herbal tea blend. It's got peppermint, spearmint, and it's also got, what's the other thing that's in it? Can't remember, another sort of minty thing. So that's my tea. Now that you can put straight into the envelope, but this, I'll just show you the label I've made because I liked this idea. It says the perfect blend on it with Jack and Emma's name underneath, and it's in a teapot shape. So I'm going to use that. Now, as well as envelopes, these labels could be quite useful for making other bigger labels to go on bigger things, gifts that you might be giving. For instance, luggage labels are great. So brown paper luggage label, that makes a really nice present tag. I also have some little tiny ones that I am going to use today. So they just bought them by mistake, but they're ideal for one of the other things I'm going to show you. So with your tea, we'll just pop that in there. You could put it in as a tea bag. I'm not keen on tea bags. You could wrap it in a little bit of muslin, and so it's a sort of like a tea bag but not plastic. That's our little envelopes, our little envelope favours. They're quite a nice way to do something, to do a lot of them quite cheaply, and they're nice, they're eco-friendly. There's no plastic, perhaps a plastic bag I suppose, but you wouldn't need that. Easy to do at home and nice to give, plus the fact that the flowers will be there for a long time, so that's quite nice. So I'm going to get on, move on to my next gift. As I said, I've got these little jars that jam came in. Somebody gave me these. So I've got 3 things that make really good gifts that I've made a lot of. So the first one is bath salts. And this particular brand, it's been in my bathroom, so I do use it a lot, is orange and rose. I wish it was smell-o-vision because it does smell lovely. So the idea being that you fill up your it's easy with one of these little pots. You fill up your you can see it now. So this is Epsom salt. It's orange and rose scented essential oils, and I've put in some dried orange peel and some dried rose petals. I'll just lift the bigger bits in first because they're going to just, and you just fill your little jar. And the lid on it. So we're going to use one of these little tiny luggage labels, and I'm going to write on it on one side what's in it. So that is the rose and orange bath salt. You can buy Epsom salt at places like Home Bargains in great big packets. I use them all the time in my bath. I find they're very soothing and relaxing. And on the back we can have something like relax and enjoy. We'll put on this one. And then you can just tie your little luggage label around your jar. You could also print little round labels. We made these for Emma's hen party. We made these, and I printed all little labels that said Emma's hens on it. So there's your little jar of bath salts. Now that could go in one of these boxes as well. So you could put it inside the little box if you wanted to do that, and then that would go on the table. So what else have I got here to go in my little jars? I shall show you. Where's the lid gone for that? You know, sometimes I just can't see things. Oh, it's there. So that's such a nice idea. This one is lavender and oatmeal bath soak. Oatmeal's really good in your bath. It's got properties that soften your skin and soothe it. This has also got dried milk in it as well, which also gives you a nice soothing bath. And lots of it's got lavender essential oil and lavender flowers in it. So that would be another nice one you could use. I might be tempted to put that in a little muslin bag or a little sort of lace bag, because the lavender seeds are impossible to get out of your bath. But that is another nice bath one that you could put in your little jar. And the third one, I just think is really good for after a wedding, is a peppermint foot soak. In here, I've got dried peppermint that out of a tea bag. So it's come out of a peppermint tea bag. And it's also got Epsom salt and the dried milk in again. I'll show you what it looks like. So you can see the salt crystals. So we would put that in a little jar. Tip it into that again, just because you can see, just easier to get it in the jar from there. Now, what I would put on this is, again, I would probably put from Jack and Emma. No, I'll put peppermint foot soak. And then on the back, I'm going to put for tired dancing feet. Because you will have tired feet after the day. I intend, after the actual wedding and the reception, I'm changing out of my lovely heels into a little pair of flat sandals to dance in. I don't think I'll last all day in high heels. So again, that's a really nice little gift and very appropriate for a wedding to give to everybody. I will pop these recipes on a link after the show. So that is another nice little wedding favour idea. So the third idea I'm going to show you again is quite easy to DIY. I'm just going to switch on my hot glue so it heats up. So this is a nice idea with just for a tea light candle. So I've got these wood slices. I bought lots of these at Christmas to make Christmas decorations out of. So on the bottom of this, I'm going to do their initials, I think. It's J and E. And then I'm going to put the date, which is the 2nd of July. So I'm going to put 2/7/22. And then all we need to do then is, I've got some little bits of artificial flowers, and I've just wired them together into a U shape, so it sits like a wreath around the candle. And I'm going to hot glue the candle on first. So I'm putting the glue onto the wood rather than onto the candle, just because I don't want it to melt. So sit that firmly. And then I'm going to put another little dot of glue here to fasten my flowers with. So I'm just going to put that on and let it set. So hold it till it's set. And then I will arrange the flowers around it. So I think I might just tuck that leaf. I don't want to set anything on fire. So I'll tuck that underneath. Maybe it's... So there. That is beautiful. and they are very, very simple to make. You can buy all the pieces separately. Again, we've got the memento on the back with their names. Great. I think I like that. So, and you could just sit that beside their plate. You wouldn't have to have a special box or anything for it. So talking of boxes, I'm going to show you now how I made my boxes. So there was templates. Should have been templates on the link, but the link didn't appear to be there. So these were the two templates that were on the link. There was this one, which is the curved heart box, and there was this one, which is the square heart box. So what you would do is draw around your template onto your card and cut it out. We'll start with this one, which is this shaped box, the sort of square rounded box. The other one's slightly more complicated. I'm not going to bore you with drawing round them, but I've drawn round it and I've used my double-sided card again. So this is going to be the inside and this is going to be the outside. Now, the lavender foot soak would be nice in this because this looks like lavender. So you need to get your template and your cutout because we're going to follow these lines. These broken lines are where you're going to score it. Scoring, I think we've talked about before. You just draw through it lightly with your craft knife. Now I'm lucky I've got a magnetic board and magnetic ruler, so it's quite handy to have. So you just line up corner to corner there and just lightly score it. And then we're doing the same at the other side. If you watched me last week doing the picnic things, we did a lot of card folding there. So that was quite a lot of scoring as well. And that one, this is quite an easy one to score. So you just basically making the square box. So then just fold it along your score lines. And we're going to just slightly fold their two hearts so they'll sit together. And then you just assemble it and it's so easy. You just put that up there. And then you curve that one round and flip that one over. And the hearts hold it together. So that is really pretty for your wedding favours. You could put sticker on the bottom with the dates and everything on it if you wanted to as well. But that is quite a nice one. Quite nice, quite easy. It probably would take time doing a lot of cutting out if you were making a lot of these. But they are a nice gift box as well. So that is the square one. So that's that template, which was should have been on the link. So our other one is this one, which is a heart shape, a square box with hearts on the top. So this is slightly more complicated. I'm going to keep my template there so I can work out where my folds are. If you've drawn this round with pencil, which I have, you might just want to take the pencil marks off with a rubber, just because they may show through. Now, this is also, so you've cut all the way around the template. You've also cut through the hearts like that. So that. Now, the scores on this line, this one, are going to make a square here. So you're going from that V shape there all the way to this edge. Not right to the corner because you're making little flaps up. But that's your score line. And the same on this one, from that V shape there, all the way to about there, the middle of, just by keeping it straight, you're making your little flaps. Then across here, where the two lines meet there, you're making another scar across because that's that fold. So there is also fold from this point and a fold from that point, which we've done. The last bit is the flap on the end. So you are just going to, that's your side fastening. Now this one we do have to stick, and normally I've been using double-sided tape, but I'm finding it's just not quite holding them together. So the next step with this is to fold along all your score lines. You're making these little envelope style flaps that we're going to stick. There's another one there, and then these folds are for the sides of your box. So where we're going to glue is where all these little envelope flaps are. So we're going to glue there, there and there, and that is going to fit like that. Then we're going to glue there and tuck that under. So what I did before was do these one at a time, because I found that my glue dried. So I'm just going to quickly put glue along there and then fold that side up so that it meets, and then turn it that side and then give it a quick press until it sets. So that's your first side glued. And you do the same on this flap. Let's be able to show you what I'm doing. So just along the side like that. Then it's not going very straight. Then fold the side up like that. And our final bottom one is there. So I shall put the glue on it. And then fold this side over. Not sticking. You need to get inside it and just hold it down so it sticks. There we go. So you can see we've got our box shape. The last bit of glue goes here. So I'm going to put that on there now. And then stick that down. So that is our basic box shape. Then we will fold at the top. Just fold these down so that they crease along the score line. And then, if I can remember how it goes, I think it's the heart stay upright. That's it. So we fold the hearts. And then we push them down so that they just, that one goes underneath like that, and the hearts hold it together. So you don't have any, you don't need any glue or fastening. It just tucks under and folds like that. That's really nice too. So that, I think that's quite effective. That's quite a big box. That will hold at quite a decent size of wedding favour. Okay, so the final box I'm going to show you is the pillow box. And I'm going to do this one right from drawing it, cutting it and everything. So this is the template. This is quite a large one. I have two or three sizes of this. I just shrunk it down on the photocopier on my printer. So you can see the shape of it. It's got your pillow, your rounded corner sides, which you then fold into be a pillow. This is the score line for the flap at the end that you glue together with. This is the score line down the middle because that's the middle fold. So I've drawn it out on my card. This one has got a nice big rose pattern on the other side, and I'm going to cut it out following my lines. So I'll start at this end. This is where I have put it against the edge of the paper, the card, so I won't waste any. Now with the notch, I just go over it now and then go back and cut it in once I've cut the sides up, just because it's a little awkward cutting the notch with the scissors as you're going round. So that is my basic shape. And again, I'm going to get my template, and you can see that this side is slightly bigger, but if you put the template on slightly at an angle like that, where did I put my pencil? And just do that. Just so you can mark where your fold lines are coming. This fold line is from point there to point there. Now, the other lines you need to draw on are these semicircles that are the pillow bit. And basically, you draw from there to there to there. The idea being that you try and get them even. So what I would do is I'd measure mine on here and say I want it to come out an inch from there. So that is going to come to about there. And on this, because my quilting mat has got nice squares on it to measure. So on this side, it's going to come from there. And I want it to come an inch to there. And the same here. So I want it to come to there. So that it forms an ellipse. Right, I'm just going to cut out the little finger holes, little notches out here, before I draw my semicircles on. Ellipses, that's what I should call them. That's my little notches. Now the ellipse, as I said, is going to run from there, that point to that point, so I'm just going to draw a curve. And same this way. So it meets the point where I want it to be. So there to there. It doesn't even have to be a curve. You can draw the lines sort of slightly. So we're going from this point here to this point here. You can just draw them straight, as long as they then will fold in, you're fine. So that point there, that point there. So now we're going to do our scoring. My ruler. And as I said before, I'm going to score from this line to this line. That's the bit you use the flap to stick it down. Then we're going to score right through the middle from the point to point there. Let's just draw in a straight line. Okay, now this is the tricky bit of scoring because this is your ellipse. So I don't know if you can see, but get right into the corner point there. Try and follow your drawn line roughly. Just be careful not to go too deep because we don't want the seams to open up. We just want them to fold in. Then again on this side. So you don't want to go from this point because that is going to be tucked under. You want to do it from there and follow. And then last one. Don't know whether anybody's out there. Please feel free to comment because obviously I don't know why I didn't get a link. So we're folding that flap, then we're folding this one into the middle. That's our, and as you can see, that then will tuck under. Tuck under like that. So I'm going to just take my scissors and just, because this is quite thick card, and just really emphasize the folds by running the handle of the scissors along them. Okay, so I'm good. Now my glue's gone off. Hopefully it'll still be warm enough to run. Right. So yeah, just a thin line of glue along there. Fold that over and press it firmly. Now these ends, if you sort of squish it open slightly, you can then fold these in along their score lines. The notched one goes in first, So you can see that's your curved score line. And the notch one goes in first, so that when you open it, you can get your finger in there. I always forget that. I put it the other way around, then can't get them open again. And then this one will fold in on top of it, like that. And we do the same on the other end. So squish it open slightly, so you can point that down, and then do the other one. Now, you can always fasten these with a little sticker, or if you punch a hole through that piece of card and through that piece of card, you can tie a little ribbon into a bow. But that is a really nice gift box. So we haven't been very long today, but we have our 3 gift boxes. So we've our pillow box, I want to call it a pyramid. It's not a pyramid, but I want to call it a pyramid. Our pyramid box, which we also made in this nice lavender. And we've got our square box with the red hearts. And to go in them, we have our lovely little candle holder. That would go in our pillow box, actually. You just pop that in there like that. Wedding Favour boxes also make very good place markers, because you can write people's names on them and pop them on their place where they're going to sit. So, you know, you've got like a place marker as well. Our little lavender box, I'm going to put in, I didn't put any in a jar, but I'm going to do it with the, or is that the lavender bath salts? That's peppermint foot soak. Let's fill a jar with the lavender bath salts, with the lavender soap and oatmeal. Oh, that smells heavenly. We'll fill our little jar with it. And then it might be a little bit big, this jar, but if you put them in a little muslin bag, like I suggested, so don't get lavender all over your bath, then it would probably fit much better. But we'll try it. It's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze, I think. That, never mind. We could always put that in a bigger box. So I'll fasten that back up for you. I do like this one because it's easy. I think it's one of the easiest and most effective ones. So I've got oatmeal everywhere now. So this one we can put in our little jar of peppermint foot soak, and then just, you know when you fasten a cardboard box and you do round one and one over the top of each other, and then the last one you have to just tuck in. That's what you do with these. So you just tuck that under, and then your hearts will stand up. So let me pop the camera back up. Hi, very sorry about dropping you in the middle of this, but these technical hitches happen. So I hope you've enjoyed this. We're really looking forward to our wedding. It's Saturday, so we've got the rest of this week. It's in Buxton, so we've got a lot of travelling to do. I'm over on the West Lancashire coast, so it's quite a long way. But I will add the recipes for the various different toiletries on it. And happy crafting. I shall see you after the wedding. Goodbye.